been working on the refeeding chapter that's going to be published in the new Pocket Guide. Since 2006, the key recommendations that have been followed in terms of refeeding syndrome are from the NICE guidelines, and there's widespread view that they potentially may be very strict in terms of energy provision, in that they suggest feeding at 10 calories per kilo of energy requirements. The new PENG guidance give a little bit more scope for dietitians to use their own practice, suggesting a threshold of 10 to 20 calories per kilo. And that is perhaps previous guidelines we feel may result in potentially underfeeding patients that may not be at true risk of refeeding syndrome, and therefore hopefully the new guidelines will give dietitians some evidence to make higher calorie provisions from the initiation of feeding and avoid the compromising patients from an underfeeding perspective. It's not about ignoring the NICE guidelines. It's another set of guidelines that should be used in conjunction with other evidence that already exists to form your local policies and guidelines in relation to refeeding syndrome. One of the difficulties in producing guidelines for refeeding syndrome is that there's very limited, robust evidence available to inform your clinical judgments. What we've tried to do as part of the chapter is review the evidence that is available, but really emphasise the limitations of some of that, and then come up with a consensus statement from the authors as well as the PENG committee on some practical recommendations for how dietitians can use this in their practice. So you're talking about we all need to acknowledge the limitations of the evidence that's supporting these guidelines, and what we really need dietitians to do is to audit their practice and to conduct more robust research in this area so that we can be much more sure of the guidelines that we're going to create in the future.